Hi everyone. Today's session that we're doing is academic and research skills for law. My name is Shazia Khan, and the learning outcome we're doing today is learning outcome 4, which is to be able to identify personal strengths and areas for development in relation to academic research and writing skills. So this is the last learning outcome before we do the assignment discussion. And what I'll do before I go into learning outcome 4 is I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what we did in the last session, which was learning outcome 3. So learning outcome 3 is to be able to apply the skills of legal citation. We looked at planning and structuring legal essays. We looked at how to approach a problem, issue. We also looked at the idea approach and how that's used in assignments. We also looked at elements of key aspects of legal citation. We looked at elements of how to cite different legal sources and practical application of legal citation. We looked at common tools for citation and also looked at planning and structuring assignments, legal assignments. We also looked at the approach that is used for structuring scenario-based questions and how that would impact on it. We looked at the idea approach, which was identify, define, explain, and apply. We also looked at alternative approaches, which is IRAC, issue, rule, application, and conclusion. We then went on to structuring scenario-based answers. We also looked at an example using the idea of for a problem question, and we looked at elements of explaining the role of legal citation in academic assessments. We looked at how to identify legal issues in a problem and looked at the different steps to identify legal issues, and also looked at the element of reading the similarity index and acceptable scores and how they apply. We also looked at the element of acceptable similarity scores and how you could, paraphrase things and avoid quoting large quotes and things to avoid any sort of elements of turnitin or plagiarism. We looked at elements of accurately referencing legal citations in written text, and also looked at how to use legal citations in answering legal assessments and citing authoritative sources, integrating citations. We looked at using legal dictionaries and academic textbooks, and we referred to the Black's Law Dictionary. We also looked at report structures and writing, so introduction, having a main body and a conclusion. We then went on to look at using quotations to support legal ideas, so when to use the quotations and how to use quotations effectively. We then went on to look at Harvard referencing and OSCOLA and what the difference is between both and how they are used in academic writing. We then looked at using Turnitin, what the purpose of Turnitin is, how to use it effectively, and looked at some practical examples as well. And we looked at elements of legal citation, dictionaries, using quotations, using OSCOLA, looked at cases such as Donoghue and Stevenson, and also looked at including headings for each legal issue. So that was like a report structure, and also looked at using Turnitin and how to paraphrase things to make sure that your similarity score is below 25%. You need to make sure that your work is original and there's no collusion as well. So that was learning outcome 3. Now we're going on to learning outcome 4, which is to be able to identify personal strengths and areas for development in relation to academic writing and research. So, what are the different areas that would be able to support us in academic writing skills? So the indicative content is to identify their own personal learning journey, identify their skills, development, identify personal skills and qualities, skills for academic work, time management, initiative, flexibility, responding positively to change and feedback. Also looking at strengths and weaknesses and action plans to put in place for self-development and how to use them. So key terminology is what is strength in research example. And it's things like, trying to identify your own strengths and your skills when producing an academic piece of work. So, trying to identify your own personal development and self-reflection, considering situations where you felt confident and achieved success, identifying projects, feedback is really good as well. And when it comes to your strengths in research papers and things like that, identifying your personal strengths and reflecting on them, making sure that you're reflecting on what your personal strengths are. There's a video there that you can watch in your own time, and that looks at researching your strengths and weaknesses, and it's quite an interesting video looking at elements of how you would your strengths and your personal research as well. So have a look at that in your own time. The next one is being able to identify personal strengths, being able to look at areas of improvement, areas of development. How would you identify your strengths? Consider situations again. Identify situations where, you can identify your strengths as well. And make sure, you are, if you're doing an academic piece of work, make sure that you are requiring critical thinking, analytical thinking, and effective communication, which is really important in any situation where you need to be able to produce some sort of work. The critically analyzing is really important. Identifying personal strengths. So, to identify your personal strengths, you need to again consider situations where, you've been in a situation where you've been able to, identify your own strengths. So one of the skills areas could be research. So one of your strengths could be that you had the ability to locate any sort of information, reliable sources. And the impact on academic research is ensure high quality references and work's credible, making sure that authentic work, that you're producing authentic work. Critical analysis is strong ability to evaluate and interpret any sort of legal principles and make sure that you apply them as well, because that's really important. And that enhances your depth of arguments and make sure you supported your arguments. Time management, effective time management is really, really important in any situation. You've got to be able to time manage things. Avoid, managing your time includes like goal setting and planning and avoiding any sort of distractions, using, effective prioritizing things, meeting deadlines, avoiding any sort of distractions. So planning, and it allows for thorough research. Legal writing is another one, which is making sure that your writing is whether you've got legal language that you're using, you structure essays the way you would in regards to your legal skills, and produce clear, coherent, and professional piece of work. Attention in detail, so making sure that your work is attention to detail, and that refers to the ability to carefully focus on small aspects of a task, and reduce any sort of errors, ensuring thoroughness and accuracy, and noticing and addressing even minor details, often involving meticulousness, organization, and a commitment to precision in work. It's the practice of being mindful of small things to achieve high quality results. So, you need to make sure, you look at key aspects of attention to detail are things like thoroughness, making sure that your work is thorough, it's accurate, consistent, and being observant as well, and making sure that you're organized as well. These are some key aspects, and especially in academic research, if you examples how to look at that would be to proofread your work, or double check your work, things like that. Areas for development. So you've got areas for development, and there could be things like, the element of paraphrasing. That's a skill, tendency to overuse. If you use direct quotes, that's an area for improvement. Avoid using direct quotes. Impact on strategies for improvement. So higher similarity and, practice rewriting things and paraphrasing things. Use of diverse sources. So don't just rely on books all the time. Use a diverse sources, journal articles, newspaper articles, internet. So you have a variety of wider range of resources. Problem solving approach, difficulty in applying the idea or IRAC methods. So reduce clarity in scenario based, make sure you're applying the law to the scenario. Efficiency in overtaking overly detailed notes can lead to inefficient, and in the impact, it's time consuming research process. And confidence in public presentation, limiting experience in presenting legal research and findings orally. So, it's where sometimes people are hesitant when it comes to presentations, but try to remain confident and be able to identify the skills. Strategies to improve academic research and writing skills. So again, paraphrasing, as we mentioned, is a big part of it. Making sure that you're proactive and your work is an academic standards, check your grammar. Also things like expanding research scope. Make sure you don't use just one form of database like Westlaw. Use LexisNexis, use different sources, to try and explain things. Applying problem-solving approaches, practice the IDEA and IRAC approach models and review sample answers. Time management, again, really important concept of it, making sure that you're managing your time and making sure you are able to, prioritize things. And public presentation skills, making sure you're able to speak in front of everyone. And making sure that you're able to, work in small groups and practice as well. Self-reflection and development plans. So a self-reflection and development plan is a process where you actively analyze your own performance, your strengths, your weaknesses, and areas for improvement. Then create a structured plan to develop new skills, enhance existing ones, and achieve personal or professional goals based on those insights gained through reflection. So, it's really important to self-reflect, and, to identify elements that, you could, there are benefits of self-reflecting. For example, reflecting on your own experience, you can gain a deeper understanding of your own strengths, weaknesses, and motivations. Identifying areas of improvements will allow you to focus on targeted development efforts leading to better results. Also, a proactive approach to personal development can enhance your employability and open up new career opportunities. So, there are elements of that you need to bear in mind when it comes to reflection. So a skill area, paraphrasing in the table, and the goal is to improve paraphrasing to reduce over-reliance on direct quotes. And the action plan is proactive, rewriting one paragraph daily, using Turnitin to check similarity and reviewing paraphrase guides. And then the time frame 1 month. So that's an action plan put together. The use of diverse sources. So the goal is to explore at least 3 new legal databases or journals. And the action plan is to access Justa for journal articles, research EU case law using ULEX, and consult law librarians for textbook. And the timeline is 2 months. And then problem solving approach. The goal is to master the IDEA IRAC method for problem questions, and the action plan is to solve 3 problem questions weekly, analyze model answers to understand application techniques, and it's an ongoing process. And the public presentation skills build confidence in presenting research findings orally. The action plan: deliver practice presentation to peers and join a public speaking group and record review and practice session, and that's a 3-month time span. So in conclusion, identifying your strengths and weak areas of development in academic research and writing is essential for achieving academic and professional success. By implementing targeted strategies and paraphrasing, and students can enhance their academic performance and develop transferable skills. So it's really, really important to identify your skills and your strengths and weaknesses, because you're able to develop and improve in them. Identify and record development needs, 4.1, and specify priority areas for development. So, you need to make sure you identify what your needs are, your personal learning journey, what your skills development are, and what areas you need to improve, because, everyone needs to improve in certain areas. And it's really important that you identify where the gaps are and prioritize these things. So identifying development needs and priorities. So to identify development needs and priority areas, you should analyze an individual's current performance against their role requirements, considering their skills, knowledge gaps, and areas where improvement is needed most, while also aligning with these needs with the organization's goals and strategic priorities. This often involves methods like performance reviews, self-assessments, feedback from peers, and identify critical skills for future success. So the first one in the table is the aspect is personal learning journey, and you've got current skills, you've got development needs and action plan, and the priority is quite high for that one. Research skills, the next one, and then academic writing skills, time management, flexibility and adaptability, responding to feedback, and initiative and independence. So that table there shows you the aspect of it, the current skills and qualities, the development needs, the action plan, and how prioritized it is. So if it's low, medium, or high, it identifies them. So it's really important to identify your needs, because you're able to prioritize things, but also, you need to identify areas of improvement and gaps within that. Identifying personal learning journey. So identifying a personal learning journey involves assessing your current knowledge and skills and defining your learning goals and objectives, understanding your preferred learning style, and then planning specific learning activities and resources to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Essentially mapping out your path to acquire new knowledge and abilities over time, taking into account your individual needs and challenges. So, there could be challenges in place as a student to improve paraphrasing, summarizing, and the skills development. So you've got the skill, which is research. The current status is strong in accessing case law and statutes. The improvement needed is to expand the use of journals, articles, and secondary sources. The skill for writing is good structure and clarity. Improvement needed is to enhance style and minimize overuse of direct quotes. And then the skill is critical thinking. The current status is competent in analyzing legal principles, but the improvement needed is to deepen analysis to include counter arguments and multiple perspectives. Throughout, it's really important to identify your personal learning journey, because it helps you create like a plan, but also identifies your strengths and weaknesses, and reflect on your past experiences, define, specific objectives, and adapt to learning strategies. So it's really, really important that you adapt to these, but it identifies preferred methods as well. And it also looks at how you break down your goals into like smaller, manageable steps with timelines, to put in place. And time management is so important, and monitor, tracking your progress all the time and monitoring your learning journey through regular self-assessment, reflection, and keeping a log, which would really help. Personal skills for academic work. So key personal skills for academic work include things like critical thinking, time management, effective communication, research skills, organization, adaptability, self-discipline, active listening, collaboration, problem solving, and the ability to learn from feedback. So each one has its own element. So the first one is the skill of time management, and the current strength is effective in meeting deadlines and organizing tasks. The area for improvement is to allocate more time for revisions and refine prioritization, and organizing and prioritizing tasks to efficiently manage deadlines. The next one is initiative. So the current strength is proactively exploring topics beyond the syllabus, and then areas of improvement increase initiative in finding alternative resources and perspectives. The flexibility issue is the element of adapt well to change or any sort of flexibility or feedback, and respond quickly and confidently to last minute changes or unexpected challenges. Responding to feedback, and that's really important because you actively seek constructive criticism and consistently apply feedback in future tasks. So feedback's really important. Actively incorporating constructive feedback to improve work, but then, taking on board what the feedback is as well, to try to take it on board and listen to what other people have to say. Academic skills are things like planning your work, conducting, and your academic skills will help allow you achieve the requirements of your assessment and make you reach your goals as well. So in conclusion, by identifying strengths and weaknesses, development needs and priorities, students can actionable plans to enhance their academic and personal skills. Regular self-reflection and commitment to these plans ensure steady growth and success in academic endeavours. 4.2, describe the range of approaches to learning law and studying law. There are many benefits from studying law, and there's studying diverse effect methods approach, and everyone has their own personal learning styles and how they learn, descriptors, and how they learn attention to detail. They need analytical skills, logical thinking. So everyone has their own personal styles. Approaches to learning law. So you've got case law analysis, the description, the benefits and examples of that, statutory interpretation, problem solving, the IRAC and IDEA. And then you've got the element of lectures and seminar attendance, independent reading. So, attending lectures is really important, and seminars to contribute. Independent reading is really important because, you need to make sure that the course that you're doing, you're learning a lot independently as well. Independent reading, group work and discussion, especially studying law, you need to collaborate with other peers and other members. Practice with past papers, make sure you are, practicing the past papers. And legal research skills is really important. Making sure you're using the databases, LexisNexis, any other databases, writing and drafting. So drafting your essays and making sure, you've got any reports to put in, any problem solving questions. Engagement and technology, the utilization of Turnitin, Grammarly, and other software that can help you Harvard referencing or Scholar to make you identify any sort of elements of it. So using a combination of these approaches allows students to develop a well-rounded skill for studying law. And that table that we've just looked at, have a look at that in more detail just to help you identify certain elements of it. By engaging in case law analysis, statutory interpretation, problem solving, and independent reading, students can strengthen their legal concepts. So, you need to make sure that students are able to study well, but also identify tools that they need to use to do that. So 4.3, explain the importance of independent learning skills. So being, independent is really important, making sure you are, able to empower individuals as well. So independent skills are essential for academic professional environments to study law. Independent skills are crucial because they empower individuals to take ownership of their own learning, allowing them to actively seek knowledge, set goals, manage their own time, and critically evaluate information. ultimately leading to better academic performance, increased motivation, adaptability, and a lifelong love of learning, making them well equipped for both academic and professional success in ever-changing life, and it's a really important thing because there are some benefits of independent learning skills. So it firstly enables individuals to continue learning and adapting throughout their lives by developing strategies to acquire new knowledge independently. Also fosters the ability to analyze information, evaluate different perspectives, and form independent conclusion. Also, a benefit is it encourages self-directed problem solving by identifying issues, researching solutions, and implementing strategies. Taking ownership of learning fosters intrinsic motivation and a sense of accomplishment. It also develops your skills to manage, prioritize tasks, and set realistic goals to achieve desired outcomes. In regards to adaptability, it equips individuals to navigate new situations and challenges by actively seeking knowledge and adjusting learning strategies. Successfully completing self-directed learning tasks enhances self-esteem and belief in one's ability. So researching from different sources, making sure, it also for students, it boosts student motivation and confidence, improves student performance and better understanding of the student's own strengths and weaknesses. So it's really important for a student to establish these skills. Importance of independent learning skills. As we said, independent learners are crucial and they empower individuals to take ownership of their own learning. And they can impact overall success in many different reasons. It promotes many different key skills that can be used in later life, but it's important because it identifies and boosts student motivation. So the table there shows the importance of independent learning skills. The first one is self-directed learning, which is the ability to identify learning needs and pursue things, as we looked at earlier. So self-directed learning, and then you've got the element of the benefits, encourages proactive learning and develops autonomy and discipline. The next one is critical thinking. So it analyzes information. You're able to analyze information and develop the ability to evaluate different perspectives and solve problems, and it enhances problem solving and fosters deeper understanding. Time management is really important because it develops the ability to prioritize your tasks, leading to managing one's workload efficiently. Research skills, making sure you're able to research things and use different statutes and case law. And it also improves the quality of assignment and builds a foundation for legal research. Adaptability, it equips individuals to navigate new challenges and new situations with a form of flexibility and encourages resilience and flexibility. Communication skills, really important skill to have, presenting findings and arguments in both written and verbal forms, and improves academic writing and your confidence in presenting effectively. Reflection and evaluation, assessing your own progress, areas for improvement, and making sure that you are promoting continuous improvement and helping in setting realistic academic professional goals. It also increased motivation because it fosters a sense of agency and confidence in one's ability to achieve, so make sure that you are confident and, make sure that you are, able to achieve. But it's really, really important is independent learning for any individual, and yeah, for students, it's so important because it makes them, punctual, makes them identify, boost their confidence and makes them, feel like, they're able to more organized and more disciplined as well. So skills summary for independent learning. So you've got a skills summary for independent learning would highlight abilities like effective time management, motivation, critical thinking, all while taking ownership of one's learning process and demonstrating the capacity to learn independently and manage one's learning journey as well. So the first one is self-motivation, which is the drive to pursue goals without any sort of pressure, make sure that they are pursuing them goals. How it supports independent learning is it enables consistent effort and focus on academic tasks. The next one is research proficiency, ability to locate, analyze, and apply information from diverse legal sources that enhances the depth of credibility of academic work. Time management, which we've gone through, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability, digital literacy, and note-taking and collaboration. So this table identifies the skill, the description, and how it supports independent learning. So have a look at that in your own time, please. Benefits of independent learning. So there are lots of benefits of independent learning. So some of the benefits are things like improve academic performance. So it encourages deeper engagement, also increase motivation and confidence, so enhance confidence, prepares you for life and fosters social inclusion, lifelong learning. So, there are different elements of that. So, supporting students for providing feedback, helping them, highlighting progress, identifies the benefits of it. There are many benefits of it within the, independent learning. You could have things like improve academic performance. So students can, learn independently and they tend to achieve higher grades due to a deeper understanding of the material and the ability to tailor their learning pace and approach. Also, increase motivation and confidence. Taking ownership of learning fosters a sense of accomplishment, leading to greater motivation and confidence in one's abilities. Independent learning encourages students to analyze, which we looked a little bit at earlier. By exploring topics independently, students can pursue their own interests and develop their own innovative approaches to problem solving. Independent learners become more aware of their strengths and weaknesses, allowing them to focus on areas that need improvement, and the ability to navigate new learning environments and find information independently is essentially in today's rapidly changing world. And the other one is that it fosters the habit of continuous education, so lifelong learning. Developing independent learning skills promotes a continuous learning mindset, encouraging individuals to actively seek knowledge through their learning and through their lives as well, making sure that they, and it also helps them, gain greater awareness of everything as well. So it's really important, that it develops your independence, but it's really important because, you're able to, learn new life skills as well. And in conclusion to that, about independent learning is an essential skill that is built on for everyone, encouraging independent learning while still providing the necessary support to help with development. And independent learning is a key skill that helps you learn and develop. And obviously, there are benefits of independent learning, and it's where the students will take ownership of their own education and develop critical thinking and adapt new things as well, new challenges, and learn new things, and making sure that they're able to learn the new skills, but especially critical thinking for academics in law. So create a plan for further improvement. So all process improvement plans are different depending on the context. So what your personal goals are may be different to what my personal goals are. So or your academic goals are, so it's really important that you make sure that you are putting a good plan in place so that, it caters for you, not for anyone else. An action plan is your accomplishments, your goals, not mine or anyone else's. And it will also look at summarizing your strengths and weaknesses. And it breaks up the process to start to end. And you could identify what your actions are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and what strategies you would use in place. Table which looks at academic and personal development. So you've got, again, research skills, you've got the academic writing skills, time management, critical thinking, feedback, utilization, adaptability, and public speaking and presentation. The table also looks at strengths, weaknesses, and an action plan and the timeline for that. So you could have a look at that in your own time in regards to each skill, how the strengths would apply, how the weaknesses would apply, and what you would do to put an action plan together, and the timeline as well. How long would it take? Would it take a month? Would it take 2 months? Would it take 3 months? Would it be an ongoing process? So you would identify that because everyone's action plan is different. Not everyone's is the same. You may want something different compared to what I may want, so you need to make sure your action plan is in place. And an academic development personal plan is a document that outlines your individual goals for both your academic pursuits and also your personal growth as well, looking at your self-assessment, making sure that you're reflecting on things and you have put methods in place and goals in place to achieve your new skills. So a detailed action plan. So you'd improve research skills, you'd broaden the use of beyond database, so you'd look at more things. An action plan is there for you to identify what you intend to do. And creating an action plan is different for everyone. Everyone has different goals. Everyone wants to reach a different goal. Everyone wants to accomplish something else. For a good action plan to be put in place, you need to identify, improving your skills, maybe enhancing writing skills, developing critical thinking skills. These are time management. So these are action points that you could consider in an action plan that may help you enhance them. Personal development plan, personal development goal, sorry. Personal development goal can help you improve your skills, relationships, and overall well-being as well. So public speaking, it could be things like that. So you make sure that you're able to develop your public speaking as well, practice and present, and make sure you're confident. Adaptability is another one, which is a good element of it. Adapting to changes, new challenges, reflecting on the past. Feedback utilization, so making sure that you've taken feedback into account as well, making sure that you've put them elements of that feedback into place. And in regards to this, you could use the SMART acronym, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound system that helps people set attainable long-term or short-term goals. And it would help you in regards to that, setting the acronym. So making your goals be specific and narrow for effective planning. Measurable is defining what evidence will prove you're making progress and reevaluate when necessary. Attainable, make sure you reasonable accomplish your goal in a certain time frame. SMART, the R in relevant, your goals should align with your values and long-term objectives. And then time-based as well, set a realistic, ambitious time. Prioritize your time, make sure you are setting that time, make sure you are, putting that time in place so that it's achievable at the end of it as well. And make sure you've put that in place for yourself. In conclusion, a structured plan for academic and personal development targets and strengths and weaknesses enable consistent progress. by committing and putting an action plan in together, it's a useful for a wide range of reasons, from students to assigning tasks. It identifies a plan to reach your goal. It maybe you're paraphrasing, it may be, your element of, using referencing, it may be time management, it may be collaboration, adaptability, getting into feedback, taking that on board as well. So, by committing to these strategies and putting strategies in place, it will help you achieve these goals. You may develop a strategic plan, which has strategic goals, or you may develop a plan, for a department or yourself and your own learning journey as well, and build your skills. So it's really important for academic success and professional goals that you put a plan together and a structured plan with strategies in place. So we've finished now learning outcome 4, which was the final learning outcome. So I'll give you a quick summary of what we've gone through in learning outcome 4, so you've got a bit of an idea what we've done. And then the next session obviously is the assignment discussion session. So learning outcome 4 was able to look at your own personal learning journey, identify your skills development, and identify personal skills and qualities. Looking at academic work, time management, initiative, flexibility, responding positively to change and feedback, looking at strengths and weakness, putting action plan in place, self-reflection and development plan. There's lots of tables in learning outcome 1 that you can look at in your own time on things like identifying development needs and priority areas, looking at your personal skills, time management, initiative, flexibility, and looking at them, approaches to learning law and studying tables. So you could have a look at them in your own time because they're quite detailed, and they look at the benefits and the description and give you examples as well. We also looked at the importance of independent learning skills, and summary for also creating a plan for further improvement, and a detailed action plan, and personal goals as well. So that was the element of looking at the things like personal development goals would be things like public speaking, how to practice presentation, and become more confident. Adaptability is another skill, reflecting on adaptability, trying to build change into your life as well. And feedback utilization, another element, taking on feedback from individuals as well. And we looked at academic and personal development, such as research skills, academic writing, time management, critical thinking, feedback utilization, adaptability, public speaking and presentation, with strengths and weaknesses and action plans and the timeline for them as well. So there's a lot of tables in there that you could, learning outcome 4, that you can reflect on and go back to with reference to examples. So now that we've finished learning outcome 4, these are some of the references that we've used for learning outcome 4, which will help and support you in doing your assignment. So preliminary, there's ebooks and journals on Moodle for you to look at for this unit. And there's a link there on writing skills for self-assessment and self-reflection that you can go on to. It's ResearchGate, it's quite a good publication to go on to, and have a read of that in your own time. If you have any questions or any queries or anything, please email learnerwork@ukvarsity.co.uk, and submission of the assignment is to be done on learnerwork@ukvarsity.co.uk. The next session, because we've done learning outcome 1, 2, 3 and 4 now, they're all recorded and they will all be uploaded onto Moodle. The next session we've got is the assignment discussion session, which will go through the assignment with you. I will show you where the assignment brief is, which is on Moodle, and also the unit specification is on Moodle. If you have any questions regarding anything, please email learnerwork@ukvarsity.co.uk. And again, ebooks, additional reading, any sort of the recordings that are all available on Moodle for you. And the next session we've got is the assignment discussion session. Thank you for attending today's session, and I will see you in the last session, which is assignment discussion. Thank you.